Hi there guys, and welcome back to Naturally Rawsome. I'm Eva, and today I want to compare the Nama J2 versus the Nama M1 nut milk maker to make oat milk and to see which device does better and if it's worth getting the M1 nut milk maker. Let's get started. So first of all, I want to describe some differences and what we're about to make. I have already measured equal parts of water and oats to give it a fair chance. And the Nama M1 nut milk maker basically consists of the outer part. Then we have inside a strainer and the blending part that does the job. So cleaning wise, you have 1, 2, 3 and the lid parts. And it's really easy to assemble. And then in the Nama J2, you have quite a few more parts to clean. You have the hopper. Then you have the base, the auger, the strainer, and something that goes around the strainer when you're making your nut milk. So definitely a bit more cleaning effort if you want to use the Nama J2 to make oat milk or nut milk. And also a difference is that in the Nama J2, it's best to mix things beforehand. I mean, we can try giving it in all at once. And over here, you can add in all the ingredients and the machine does the blending and straining and makes sure to get out even more milk from your produce because of the spinning that takes place at the end of the, how should I say it, the nut milk making process. And over here, it's just running through. You keep the lid closed so it can spin around a little bit. And you will see that the pulp will probably be a little more on the wet side and you have more of a wet, mushy pulp compared to the M1. But let's get started and show you what it's really like. So first of all, I'll add in here my oats. You can also add some spices if you like. I love cinnamon. And if you like, you can also add something like, I'll add this to the oats as well. You can also add a sweetener. I prefer not to add a sweetener because the combination of fat and sugar is not very ideal. So let's do this the same over here. I will add in the oats. And then the water. It's about 16 ounces. I hope it's enough for you. Yeah. And the good part is if you get the Nama bottles, they have 16-ounce bottles and 24-ounce bottles. And the 16-ounce bottles actually fit just perfectly under your nut milk maker or Nama J2 juicer. So you can get your juice right into your jar and don't need to clean up additional parts. Let's add that in as well. And then we'll get both machines started at the same time to give them an equal chance and see which one is faster and which one has the better result. For the Nama J2, you'd simply spin it over here. Here I have to turn it on and choose the speeding time. I would say it's odd, so I would go down to, let's say, 35 seconds to give it a spin. Let's get started. Now let's open the spouts to see if there is a difference and how it is like. Over here, the first spill will come out and then there will be another spill coming up when the M1 nut milk maker is spinning. So here we have our end results. The 2 oat milks that we made, they are actually both equal. So there's not more. Here is just more foam. There is a little less foam, and you can see that this one is a little bit brighter than the one from the J2. And I would say that the one from the M1 nut milk maker is a little bit more fine, and this one has a little bit more grits in it because the strainer is not as fine as in the M1 nut milk maker. So let's give this a try and see which one tastes better. Cheers! Pretty good. I would say that this one tastes definitely more watery compared to the other one. This is much smoother and creamier, and this one is more watery and not as creamy. So I would say that it's definitely worth getting the M1 nut milk maker if you make a lot of nut or oat milk, plant-based milks. The only thing you can't make in there is soy milk, because the soybeans are too hard and you need to kind of soak them in advance. And you also can't add in ice, as that is too rough for the blending part. But other than that, I think if you already have the J2, you can still use that to make your oat milk, or you simply get the M1 and yeah, have an easier cleaning part to make nut milk on the go. You can also make larger amounts. They keep fresh in the fridge for, I would say, 3 to 4 days, depending on how cold your fridge temperature is set and what you're kind of adding in, what kind of milk you're making. And I would say that making your own nut milk, oat milk, plant-based milk at home is definitely a better choice than getting store-bought milk, because store-bought milk always contains oils, salts, and even flavors that you don't want to have in your plant-based natural milk. So over here, you definitely know what's coming into it and you know that it's safe. Because sometimes when they make plant-based milks, they also use kind of ingredients that have already some mold going on them. And that's something you definitely also don't want in your plant-based milk. So when you're making it on yourself, you definitely have a better quality product, and you can also make it creamier, less creamier, depending on how many oats and water you add. That's about it. I think I will now clean up the parts and do the filming to see which one is faster to clean, but I think we already have a winner here, as there are less parts over here to clean. And you can see in here that there are still a lot of oats left that didn't go through in the J2 juicer. And over here we have the pulp that is in there and extracted, and you won't have any leftovers in the container. And all oats are used to extract the nutrients and the milk. That's why this milk is also creamier than the other one. Here we have the pulp from both juicers, nut milk making machines. You see that the pulp over here is a little bit more griddly, not as fine as this one, as this one was blended and strained, but amount-wise it's pretty much the same. And this is how the milk looks after a while. I think this one still looks creamier than this one. You can see there's a lot of sediments on the bottom over here, and here you have the sediments not as low as in this one. Here you can see the watery part on top. Over here the watery part is not as intense as on the juicer. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, let me know below. I'm glad to answer them. Enjoy your oat milk, plant-based milk, and until next time, remember, keep it light and simple, and as always, naturally Rawsome. Bye!